Take it away.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you very much, Lynn. It's good to see such an audience. If you get the first spot on the second day of an academic conference, you don't get to see an audience like this. It's really nice that you all came back. Lynn and Rand have been saying this repeatedly, that one of the key differentiators, if not the most important differentiating factor of the ISBM, is that it has both this network in B2B marketing practice and a network, a large network in B2B marketing academia as well. We can easily say that the ISBM is the research center worldwide on business-to-business marketing. And that is so by design, right? In 1983, when it was founded to create both of these networks and actually to make sure there's cross-fertilization between the two. And that has worked very successfully at the academic side. Gary Lillian has led the initiative since 1983 until about 4 years ago when I took over. And together with Andrew Peterson, who is our associate director, we try to, well, first of all, nurture and energize and keep engaged this large audience of academics in B2B marketing. We do this by funding research. We do this by various initiatives that help create and disseminate new knowledge on B2B marketing. And Lynn just showed it already, like one of the most tangible, I think, deliverables is this handbook of B2B marketing. Many of you have a copy, and there are many copies left, maybe not here, but leave your address if you want one. This is a good example because this book can benefit you in two ways. One, if there's a theme in B2B marketing that you want to learn a bit more about, for example, trade shows, you're interested in what's going on with trade shows post-COVID, right? What are the likely prospects? Go to the chapter on trade shows and you may find the answer there. The second benefit I really want to emphasize, right? If you read that chapter and you do not find an answer to your specific question, the authors of that chapter are just one phone call away. You just tell Lynn or Rand, or you tell Lori or Andrew or me, right, that you would like to get in touch with that author. Like, for example, in this case, it would be Srinath Gopalakrishna. He's a professor of marketing at the University of Missouri and spent a lifetime studying trade shows, right? We can easily get you in touch with Srinath and you can have a conversation. We academics, we love that. And I've had a bunch of one-on-one talks. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know about the others, but I really enjoyed it 2 days ago to have those kind of conversations. So this is one tangible outcome. We also sponsor ongoing research. I'm just going to give you one example of a recent paper that was published in the top journal of marketing, Journal of Marketing Research. This is on horizontal referrals and B2B markets. And all the authors, Mahima, Arnav, and Gary, our own Gary, right, they all have very strong connections with the ISBM. This is a paper that studies this idea that suppliers refer other suppliers to their business customers. But there's a bit of a trade-off there. Do you want to refer the best other supplier that you can think of? I mean, that would strengthen your relationship with the customer and buy you some goodwill. On the other hand, if you have cross-selling ideas for later on, maybe you don't want to refer the very best supplier. So there's this trade-off, and they really go into that and figure out under which conditions referrals are most valuable for business-to-business firms. Right, so that's a type of research that aligns with our priorities and that we fund by helping them collect the data, which is typically where most of the costs are in marketing-related research. Now, these are all established scholars, right? We yesterday listened to all kinds of really exciting talks about AI and what incredibly new things that can do. Now, we would need actually individuals who have time on their hands, who are incredibly ambitious and enthusiastic, and who really have a drive to study something like that. And, well, those are actually the doctoral students, right? So we find it, Andrew and I, equally important, maybe even more important, not just to nurture that existing network, but to also grow the network. So every year we have a competition where doctoral students submit their proposals and we select the best. I mean, we not just get Andrew and I, there's a committee that takes care of that, the best proposals, and we provide some financial funding so they can kickstart their research in B2B. These are just winners from the last 2 years.
You see Harvard Business School, University of Georgia, there's Western there, which is in Canada. And they cover topics that are again aligned with our priorities. Like for example, one of them studies how climate-related strategies impact financial performance. Like, pretty interesting contemporary topic. Others are studying new metrics, marketing analytics in sales force compensation and key account management. There's one of them that studies how B2B firms can build resilience when faced with adversity. Another quite important topic these days. So if they align with our research, with our priorities, then we provide them financial funding. And we've been doing this, I say we, right? The ISBM, everyone before me, since 1990, and 125, I don't know if that's exactly right, maybe it's 126 or so, students have received financial support already over the years from the ISBM. And I can speak from experience of being one of the smiling faces back in 2000s, right? That once you have that, you're eternally grateful. I mean, they helped me out at a time where I didn't have funding, right? And I needed funding to kickstart research, so I asked for support and I got it. And I'm still here, right, talking in front of you right now. So it really builds very strong connections, and it helps us really build this network. So this is for us also critically important. We're also aware of the fact that most PhD programs do not have any courses on B2B marketing, because most marketing departments have only a couple of students in a PhD program, and then they do one of them is in B2B. So there's typically no point offering a B2B specific course. So we offer that. This is Andrew Peterson's work. Actually, he organizes one online PhD course per semester already for several years. And for example, last spring, we had Venki Shankar, a very productive scholar in the marketing field, offering a course on B2B digital marketing and analytics for PhD students. So the PhD students register, take this course, and can move their research forward. Final thing about doctoral students, every other year, we organize a doctoral camp. Last time we had about 30 to 35 or so doctoral students coming in from all kinds of different countries and universities. And we had, I think, between 15 and 20 camp counselors who shared their experiences and helped the students develop research ideas in B2B marketing. So when I talk about all this, I oftentimes refer to these priorities. Some of you may have seen this graphic because we actually presented it at a previous event. It's been a while now. This was published in 2021, but we collected the data for this trend study at the end of 2020, in the middle of COVID, right? So how representative is that today? I don't know, and that's why this fall, we're planning to run a new trend study. You will also receive an email at some point in time. So I'm begging for your participation. It's really critical for us that as we give guidance to students or decide which projects to fund, that we're sure it's in line with what is important for you. And that can help us then disseminate relevant knowledge at a later point in time to you as well. I just wanted to show this because that digital here is actually quite relevant to what we discussed yesterday. That we figured out in our trend study of 2021 that digital is critical. It's not about developing a website. It's really about reimagining marketing in a world that is digitalizing in the middle of actual digital transformation, right? And that was a critical research priority. It came out as a critical research priority. And the number one knowledge gap, and we had a long list, those of you who responded may remember, it's lots of items to score in that survey. The number one knowledge gap was using big data for decision making. Now the good news is, and you saw a nice example yesterday, by the way, right? But the good news is there's lots of scholars in marketing that are using AI and deep learning and large language models and so on to address marketing questions and to develop tools that you can use in decision making. So we are already doing this for a number of, not me, but we as a field have been doing this for several years. And it may be interesting to actually get you in touch with some of these academics as well and see what the latest is in that field. Interestingly, deep learning came out as a really important aspect of, well, AI in decision making. But we found a significant difference. It's the more junior experts. They found it far more important, basically, than the more seasoned ones. And our arbitrary cutoff point was 15 years. So those with fewer than 15 years of experience thought that deep learning is really important for the coming 3 to 5 years, whereas the older people in the field actually that like not really that important. Same for social media kind of strategies and so on. So there seem to be some generational differences also, and interesting differences that we identified there. So we'll do another trend study, and you'll hear about that soon. I want to end actually with just inviting you to SMEAL. I believe that Lynn has already announced it, right? That we are actually planning to have our academic conference June 4 to 6, 2022 at SMEAL. I don't know if the dates are already set. Sorry?
2024.
Made.
2024 would be the year.
What did I say that wrong?
Yeah, 2022.
Oh, 22, well, that's on this. Sorry. So in June 4 to 6, 2024, we will organize both of these activities, a members meeting as well as an academic conference. And we don't want, when we invite you over to this beautiful area, right? We have this beautiful business building at SMEAL and a very large area where we can meet. We don't want these to be too isolated events. We want to come up with initiatives to actually have practitioners talk with academics, right? And if you have any ideas, please share them with me. It doesn't need to be now, but in the coming weeks or months or so, actually try to set up this event. These could be one-on-ones. I didn't think about it before the day before yesterday. They could be panel discussions. We at the academic side are certainly going to call for practice-oriented research so that we can have a couple of practice-oriented sessions that may be very accessible for anyone who is also not in that very narrow specific field of study. So we hope that you're coming, and I think Penn State has a lot to offer. So I think this something you don't want to miss. It's going to be really fantastic. The weather is going to be beautiful, and just make a mental note that in June 2024 you'll come, or you come back for some of you, right, to Penn State. That's all I have. So I don't know if there are any questions, or shall I hand the floor to the next?
Yep. Anybody have any questions?
All right.
Stefan will still be with us for the rest of the day, so feel free to
Yes.
catch him.
When is your event?
Sorry?
When is the event?
When is the event? Can you say the name again, the date again? For this?
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if your event, the
It's
member
the same as
meeting.
ours, so
Okay,
we're doing it
4 to
every
6, June 4 to 6. Yeah.
The first week of June, plan a vacation at State College, PA.